Welcome back to Jackson Square. We're going to practice division representation. Let's review what division representation can look like. Division representation can be represented three ways. Remember, we can write it with the obolus, we can write it with the fraction bar, or we can write it with a division bracket. We always want to read it as a number divided by something or something out of something. So I like to practice with this game called SPLAT, where you have to splat the flies. Nobody likes a fly. So let's take a minute and have a quick laugh. It says, okay, fly, you've got 5 seconds to get off that cheese sandwich or I send in a SWAT team. Get it? SWAT team. So let's look at our first problem. Our first problem says, at Becky's restaurant, 10 out of 25 customers order wheat rolls. The rest of the customers order cornbread. Which represents the part of customers who ordered wheat rolls? So look at these two flies. Which one of these should I swap? Take a second and review your division representation notes. Which one of these flies is written correctly? And think, what are we dividing? Are we feeding children to chips or chips to children? So whatever we're dividing is our dividend and our divisor. Take a second, pause, and pick your answer. Awesome. So it is 3 divided by 9. Hopefully you swatted the fly on the right. Next it says, Amber calculates that 1/3 of the students in her 4th period math class are wearing flip-flops. Which best represents the part of her class that is wearing flip-flops? Which one of these is saying 1 out of 3 or 1 divided by 3? Which fly has the right answer? Hopefully you picked the fly on the left. 1 divided by 3 with the obolus. In Myron's class of 24 students, 9 students plan to travel during spring break. Which represents the part of the students that plan to travel during spring break? Here's a little hint. They simplified. Do you remember how to simplify? Get the GCF, greatest common factor, divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. We hope you do. Hopefully you swatted the fly on the right. 9 out of 24 should be 9 divided by 24. 9 will be on top, 24 will be on the bottom, and when you simplify it by the GCF of 3, you will get 3/8, which is the fly on the right. 5 brothers equally shared 3 boxes of snack crackers. Which equation represents the part of the boxes that each brother share? Are we sharing crackers or are we splitting up brothers? What's my dividend? Think about it. Split. I hope you pick the fly on the right. 3 out of 5, which is 6/10, which you will learn how to do when we get to fraction, decimal, and percent conversions. The fly on the right. The crackers are being divided among the brothers. Montrell plays the saxophone. He plans to practice 3 out of 2 or 3/2 as many days as last year, which does not, capital NOT, represent the change in Montrell's practice time. So that means 3 of these are right and 1 of them is wrong. We're looking for the one that's wrong. So 3 out of 2 means 3 divided by 2. So which flies say 3 divided by 2 and which fly doesn't represent 3 divided by 2? Hint, you may have to change. Well, hopefully you picked the top fly on the left, 1 2/10. It just doesn't belong. The bottom fly says 3 divided by 2 in the division bracket. The right fly says 3 divided by 2 with an obulus. And 3 divided by 2 or 3/2 is the same as 1 1/2. And in decimal form, that would be 1 5/10. But they did decimal form, that would be 1 5/10. But they did 1 2/10. So it's that top fly. Get out of here. Alejandro has 8 cans of soda that he wants to share equally with 16 friends. Which expressions with an S, that means there's more than one answer, can be used to determine the amount of soda each friend will receive? Which expressions can be used to determine the amount of soda each friend will receive? So are we dividing friends or are we dividing soda? What's our dividend? 2 of the answers are right. Which 2? I hope you picked the last 2 on the bottom row. 8 divided by 16 with the obulus and 8 divided by 16 in fraction form. The top right fly and the top left fly are dividing the friends by the soda, not the soda into the friends. It's backwards. Yesterday, 15 out of 20 students choir practice, which does not represent the part of the students who attended choir practice. So we're looking for the one that doesn't match. 15 out of 20. How would you write that with an obulus? How would you write that in fraction form? Or how would you write that with a division bracket? 3 of them are right and 1 is wrong. Which one? That one was a difficult one, but I got it. Which one is not correct? The top right fly. It says 20 divided by 15 with 20 inside of the division bracket. We're dividing 15 by 20. So 15 divided by 20 with the obulus simplifies down to 3/4 if you use the GCF, the greatest common factor, of 5. And 3/4 is the same as having 3/4, which is 75 cents or 7,500. So those 3 are right and the top one is wrong. Nevaeh shares 8 candy bars equally among her 12 friends. Which expressions can be used to determine the part of the candy bars each friend receives? Again, this says expressions with an S. So we're looking for 2 right answers here. Which 2 are right? What is Nevaeh dividing? Candy. I hope you picked the top right fly and the bottom right fly. They both say 8 divided by 12, 1 with the obulus, and 8 divided by 12, 1 with the fraction bar. The other ones are not quite right. 80 yards of fabric to make costumes for the school play. She needs to make 25 costumes with the fabric and will divide the fabric equally among the costumes, which represents the number of yards of fabric for each costume. So what are we dividing up? Are we dividing fabric, or is she dividing costumes? What's our dividend and what's our divisor? And you have to simplify. And you have to simplify. I hope you got it. It was the fly in the middle. It's 80 yards divided by 25, which will simplify down to 16 out of 5, or 16/5 is our answer. If you use your greatest common factor of 5, you will get 16 out of 5. So make sure you are practicing your simplification and your division representation so that you can get those pesky flies. I think we got them.